See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Tallawah TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Shout Out the Messenger, and you're watching Tallawah TV with the host and best Davis. Take it away.
Nat, how are you? How's life treating you?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you anyway?
I'm okay. I can't complain. I'm all good. Have you recovered from our latest defeat?
Yeah.
I take it you're not too confident going into the Costa Rica game then, are you?
No, not confident at all. No, with the two defeats already. So I got our faith, even though I got a Jamaican with blood. Proud of my roots and everything. But no, we've got to go there knowing we've got to get something in the game.
Let's remind everyone before we get started, if you're based in the UK like us, Jamaica take on Costa Rica on Thursday at 2 a.m. So that's Thursday, 2 a.m. We're taking on Costa Rica for our final Gold Cup qualifier for September. So note that in your diary and try not to miss the game. It's going to be another late watch, but myself and Nat and so many others will be up cheering on the boys. And hopefully, I know I said this in my last preview for the Panama match, that I was hoping that we will get our World Cup journey started, but I'm hoping that Jamaica can start our World Cup journey with a good result against Costa Rica. But no doubt that's a tough ask, isn't it, Nat?
It is. Certainly is a tough ask. Yeah, we just got to go there, keep it tight, don't give anything away, don't let Costa Rica get in between us, and got to, when we see an opportunity, just take it when we're going forward.
Interesting there that you've said that we've got to go into that game against Costa Rica and try and keep it tight, because against Panama are running rings around us. There is so many gaps across our midfield area, but just as a collective, we left room for Panama to just walk through our midfield and just play between our lines.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. I mean, I watched the game and I could not believe what I've seen from Panama. But to be fair on Panama, I got full credit to them because they came there with the plan. They sought pressure, and then they did what they did, and they just hit on the break and got the goals. I mean, the first goal that they scored, Panama, it was from one of our errors, and we should be doing better. National team of our standards, we should be doing a lot better there.
I like what you've said there, because if we look at our game against Mexico, our opening World Cup qualifier, for me, that result was somewhat self-inflicted. Because if you look back at all three goals, so Jamaica, Shaman Nicholson scoring the equalizer, Mexico scoring their goals, all three goals were basically self-inflicted. It was all down to this defensive fragility and defensive error for Jamaica and also for Mexico. So how do we avoid that going into this crucial match against Costa Rica, which I know it's a tough ask, but it really is a must win, or worst case scenario, a draw?
Well, like you said there, it is a must win. I mean, we just got to go there and get a nice tight victory. But if we don't, then we're in big trouble. Simple as that. And with the current team, the current players that are in there at the moment, they are good enough. But they've got to believe, you know what I mean?
Do you think that the team as a collective lack confidence? Because like we've said, so far, especially in that game against Mexico, they seem to be a bit low in confidence, just making needless passes, not being switched on, not staying focused. You said not too long ago that to get a result against Costa Rica, we need to be focused, we need to be switched on. What do you make of the team's confidence so far?
Well, the game against Mexico, we all know Mexico they're a really good side. They're just, I mean, chemistry wise wasn't there, in my opinion. I mean, the team collectively, just wasn't there. And the same for the game against Panama, especially Panama. It just wasn't there. A few misplaced passes in midfield. The attack wasn't there. The defence made silly little errors. I mean, Panama should have been 4 up in the first half, because if their striker put if it was his name's called Blackman, was it? If he put that chance when he had that header, he had the head chance to score from header. If he put that away, then could have been even more than 3-0, if I'm honest. But with Jamaica, we've got to do better.
Absolutely. Now let's look at this Costa Rica team for a brief second. They're coming into this game on a momentum, if you want to call it that. 0-0 against Panama, and then their second game they lost against Mexico 1-0. So they're, if you could say it, if you look at those two results, surely they would want to put things right on home soil, wouldn't they?
Yeah, against Jamaica in particular, they will want to, because like you said, they lost narrowly to Mexico on the Sunday. And they will want to do the same. They want, you're right. They want to put it right against us, and they will want to be physical, which we know Costa Rica are known for many years. I mean, I watched Costa Rica through when England against England in the World Cup, and they were physical. They are tricky customers. They're not. They are tricky customers to beat. So we just got to go there, know we can get that result.
I like that you've touched on the physical aspect of this Costa Rica team, because they are physical, they are tough opponents. Let's remind ourselves that they did beat us 1-0 in the Gold Cup. So I would love for us to go on their home soil and try to sneak some sort of revenge. That's a huge risk, bearing in mind the results of our last 2 games. Teams that have managed to get the better of this Costa Rica team are the likes of Mexico, USA, Canada. Honduras has managed to take them to the wire. So how do we disrupt their momentum? How do we knock their motivation? Because on their day, they can get the better of you. But like I said, to be better than them or to get the better of Costa Rica, you really have to carry the mindset of, the likes of Mexico and Canada.
Yeah, like you said there, we just got to make sure we go there and frustrate them. We've got to frustrate them. We've got to be the first every ball. We've got to match them physically, because if we don't match them physically, then they'll get ahead of us, and then they'll do it. But we've got to be confident against Costa Rica, because if we don't beat them, or get a draw in that match, then it's thin ropes for the World Cup.
Absolutely. And since we're talking about physicality and trying to instill a bit of confidence in this game, we know we saw Damian Lowe. He wasn't included in the game against Panama. I'm guessing that's down to the coach wanting to rest him. So surely Damian Lowe will return to that back line. How pleased are you to look forward to seeing the return of Damian Lowe?
I've been a fan of Damian Lowe for many years. I like him. He does, for me, he leads the back, and he does boss it, and I like the way he commands the back line. He was definitely missed for me against Panama on Sunday anyway, because Liam Moore wasn't vocal enough, leading it out where Damian Lowe. In my view, when I watch him, I watch how he leads that line. He's just good. So I hope he does play against Costa Rica on Thursday, because that would be a big plus for the defence in particular, after the way we conceded them goals on Sunday against Panama.
Nat, I love that you have touched on Liam Moore, because there's been this ongoing conversation between that partnership, that masterful partnership of Damian Lowe and Liam Moore. If you were the coach and you was going into that game against Panama, say Damian Lowe wasn't injured, was it the right move to separate the two? Because we saw how well they played with each other at the Gold Cup. So would you have separated that partnership, that growing partnership between Damian Lowe and Liam Moore?
I would have. Don't get me wrong, Liam Moore's a good defender, because we've both seen him in the Championship for Reading. He is a good defender, but between him and Lowe would be ideal. But
Because obviously the player who came in and replaced Lowe in that match was Ethan Pinnock. Now a lot of people going into the World Cup qualifiers were saying, should we stick with Damian Lowe and Liam Moore, or should we introduce Ethan Pinnock? How do you feel about that? Would you, going forward, would you stick to what you know, which is Damian Lowe and Liam Moore, or would you try something new and go with Liam Moore and Ethan Pinnock? Of course, with that, you're not sure what you will get, but with Damian Lowe and Liam Moore, you know exactly what you're going to get from them, which is a level of good communication.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the match on Sunday, preferring Pinnock in there. You got Baldwin. He's got to bowl his way into the team. So I would have just went with Damian Lowe and Liam Moore, because obviously we know what Liam Moore can do, and he can along with Damian Lowe. So I would have went with them two anyway. But I was disappointed with Liam Moore, but he can do better and he knows it.
I think, in fairness to Liam Moore, like I said, over the Gold Cup, we were raining in praises, so much praises for Liam Moore over the Gold Cup. And I think you have to put that down to his transition. You know, when Liam Moore came into this team, that you would have thought that he's been playing with the Reggae Boyz for the last decade, but he's still relatively new to this side. So I think that, you know, every player can have a bad game or one of those games that's, you know, not up to their expected standard. But I think that you put yourself at risk of not seeing the best of Liam Moore when you take away his partner. And his partner at the moment is no doubt Damian Lowe. So you put yourself at risk and you could only get one outcome, can't you?
Yeah, you're right. You put yourself at risk, and plus it was a game against, like I said, it was Panama with the game where we needed to get something, get a win, you know, but we didn't.
How disappointed are you that we lost to Panama? Or not necessarily lost to Panama, but the way in which we lost to Panama. Back at the office, yes, there were no crowds because of the pandemic, but they completely disrupted our game plan, if we had a game plan, in the first quarter of an hour. Because Jamaica, if you've been watching the Reggae Boyz over the last couple of games, you will know that the best of the Reggae Boyz, you see them in that first 15 minutes, don't you? But against Panama, you didn't see that. So they pretty much had us where they wanted us from the first whistle.
Yeah, they played us off the park. I'm going to be honest with you. They did from the first minutes of the night. I was shocked when I watched the game, and I thought, this is not the Jamaica that I've been watching. I mean, to get bullied like Panama like that, that was just not good enough. But Panama on the break, they were really good. You got hats off to him. Again, that's because some of the players have been looking at for them since the World Cup, to be honest with you, 2018, they have got some good players in there that are playing in decent leagues in Europe, and they have improved it lately, which I've noticed. But the team of Jamaica, us on paper, we got the quality all over. We should be beating them. Just disappointed, but we could do better.
I share your disappointment and your shock when I saw what was happening in that game against Panama. I was just, like so many other fans, not happy, confused. But, you know, I know people will say that, you know, he had to play certain players to rest other players who are eligible for this game against Costa Rica. But I'm very big on, if something isn't broken, don't try to fix it. Especially bearing in mind if you're looking to introduce the likes of Kimal Roof and Michael Antonio. If you're looking to introduce those two up top, then surely you should keep your back line the same, just to aid that bit of stability, shouldn't you?
Yeah, you keep it the same. You don't mess it. It starts with the back, then to the midfield, to the top. That's how it creates the big foundation for the team. That's how it goes. But for me, you're right there.
How are you feeling about this game against Costa Rica lineup? How are you feeling about your lineup? Who would you reintroduce? Who would you stick to, and so on?
The lineup, I go with Blake in net.
Yeah.
I go with Alvarez Power at right back. I go with Damian Lowe centre back, along with Mariappa. I go with Keeman Lawrence. I go with Grant in midfield. I go with Devin Williams. I go with Turgott with Burke on the left. I reckon, yeah, Turgott on the right, Burke on the left, and I go with Nicholson with Flemings.
Interesting. That's quite interesting. So you're potentially dropping Romario Williams, and you're bringing in Junior Flemings to start the game. I think a lot of people will be in favor with Junior Flemings and Shamar Nicholson starting against Costa Rica, because for club and country they are flying, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in great form, especially Shamar Nicholson. Been impressed with him this past season. Season that I've been watching closely on him in the Belgian for sport in Tallawah. But yeah, I've been impressed with him. So he needs to come in and show what he can make off like he did. And he had a good couple of years for Jamaica.
Don't think many can disagree with you on that with Shamar Nicholson. He's bang in form for club and country. Last 3 games he scored for his club and country. So 3 goals, three games on the trot. He's been finding the back of the net. So perhaps Nicholson should have started the game against Panama with the introduction of maybe say Roof and Antonio.
Yeah, one of the two, yeah. At least one of the two. Just to bowl the way into the team. So do you know what I mean? Yeah.
What type of message does this send out when you have players who have come in from overseas or UK-based players, and they automatically go into the starting 11? When you have a player like Shamar Nicholson, who we have highlighted is bang in form for club and country, but he's having to sit on the bench in a pivotal match. What type of message does that send out to the players?
It just tells them that you can't. Well, it just sends a bit, like I said, sends a message out to the players saying that no one's place is going to be obviously safe. But you got to with me, you got to make sure you stick with the team as it is, and then slowly integrate them into the team. But obviously, I'm happy that Roof and Antonio have obviously got the starts, but it would have been better for him to be on the sub instead of Nicholson. He was been in form. He should have started in the game against Panama. Then it would understand from that point of view.
Let's look at that midfield area. That for me is a major concern. We're missing something, aren't we? We're missing a bit of grit, and we're also missing some creativity. So with the reintroduction of Anthony Grant, I think he would give you that bit of missing grit.
Yeah.
But which player would you slot into the midfield position to give us a bit of creativity?
Along with Anthony Grant, do you mean?
Yeah.
For me, I'll go with. I will say McGee, but I think he's going to go with Williams. I just got a feeling he's going to do it with him. McGee going forward, he is really good. I mean, I remember watching one of the games in the Gold Cup. I think it was in the group stage. It was in the group stage. He'd done really well in one of the games when he got his chance. But I think he's going to go with Williams for me. I just got a feeling he'll do that.
How do you feel about the potential introduction, another reintroduction to Javon Watson? Because there are rumors going around in social media that he has received a call-up for this game against Costa Rica. So how do you feel about the possibility of seeing Watson in the lineup or on the bench?
Wow, I couldn't believe. But yeah, if it's true, then that's brilliant. That's brilliant news. But yeah. Again, it's needed for the team. As long as he like he has done, is putting the shifting for the Jamaica, then yeah.
You think that he's able, because of his experience, he's able to put in a good shift in the center of the park for Jamaica then, correct?
Yeah, the experience and what it can bring to the team, yeah.
And in terms of a player, I know you're a massive fan of Fleming, so maybe you could help supporters and fans to understand the benefit that a player like Junior Flemings brings to the team. If we look back at that game against Mexico, Junior Flemings, to an extent, probably should have started, because I think one of Junior Flemings' attributes, which can sometimes go against him, is that sometimes he tries to take the game by the scruff of the neck, but he overworks it. And because he overworks it, he comes across as being a selfish player. But I think every team, especially when you're in a Gold Cup, when you're in a World Cup qualifier, you sometimes need that selfish player, don't you? Someone who can grab the game by the scruff of the neck and who isn't afraid to take a shot at goal.
Yeah, it's needed, because if you don't take the risk, then you never know what's going to happen. You're absolutely right. That's why I thought go for him, go for Flemings. See what you can again. We'll see what you can do against Costa Rica.
Nat, this is, like we said before, I know we've had our talk on social media and also before we did the stream, that this is, as crazy as it may sound, for us, it is a must-win game. You do need to win. You need to start picking up points, don't you? Because you don't want to go into the games in October on 0 points, rock bottom of the table. So how do you approach this game? What's your one advice to the boys and also the coaching staff as well?
Well, start with the coaching. Coaching need to make sure they make the right decisions with the lineup. Make sure they get the tactics right. Make sure the chemistry is better than it was in the last game against Panama. Make sure the football that we normally play when we're at our best is there. That's what I need to say about the coaches. Yeah, the players, again, they just need to get the head down, put the graft in, and get the result, get the win. I want a win. I want the win. I take a narrow 1-0 win, if I'm honest. And I think any Jamaican and even the Jamaican English-based fans here, they'll be delighted with it as well.
I know you touched on their confidence. You said that you believe that they lack confidence, and I absolutely agree with you. But the best way to gain some sort of confidence is to win, surely. So if they are to gain that confidence, develop that confidence that is clearly missing, then one way, or the best way to generate that, is to go out there and pick up 3 points, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, in order to get 3 points, you got to fight for it. Fight for the first minute to the last minute. And that's what the players need to do on Thursday against Costa Rica. If they don't, then obviously it's going to be even more difficult in the next few months or so. Next month or so, sorry.
Now, what's your prediction? What's your final prediction? How do you think this game is going to pan out? Are we going to walk away with a away win, or is it going to be worst case scenario a draw?
I'd take a now 1-0 win. If not, I expect to be in like a tight draw, 1-1 draw, I reckon.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Worst case scenario, I'll take a 1-1 draw or a stalemate, because a stalemate will tell me that you're better organized, you're more compact, and that is definitely something that's missing from our game. We're not organized and we're not compact, so a stalemate wouldn't be a bad result. But of course, I'm in favor of your narrow 1-0 victory to us, which would mean some form of revenge, bearing in mind that they beat us 1-0 in the Gold Cup.
They did in the Gold Cup. Brian Ruiz, I remember him from Fulham many years ago. He is a very good player again. But yeah, Costa Rica not going to do a tough side. Not confident, but I got to have belief, obviously, for this game. But yeah, again, Costa Rica hard side, physical. A very difficult team to beat. The last few years, teams to play, big nations to play, proved result-wise, it's always like narrow victories against Costa Rica. But yeah, we just got to go there with that correct game plan, positive attitude, and just go and try and get something in that game.
Nat, you know, it's always a pleasure speaking to you, whether it's in our DMs on social media
Yeah.
or like this. I'm really happy that we finally had the chance to sit down and talk
Yeah.
face to face, and we will no doubt do this again in the near future. So thank you so much again for blessing me with a moment of your
Yeah, it's
time.
fine. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you. Thank you for having me.